Hey friends, today we'll be discussing about power of habit, why we do what we do in life and business. The author of this book is Charles Duhigg, and the book is mainly divided into three sections or three parts. First one is the habit of individuals, the second part is the habit of successful organizations, and the third part is habit of societies. Today we will discuss about the habit of individuals. So, author describes a habit as three-step process. The first part of this process is a cue. The second part is a routine, and the third part is a reward. So, cue is nothing but a trigger that maps something, point, an event with a routine. So it will be divided into location, time, emotional state, other people, or immediate preceding action. So if we actually see these differences, these parts. So first one is location. So what locations is? So let's suppose there is some beer or wine in your refrigerator, and whenever you open it, you have this craving of having one bottle of beer. Or suppose there is a plate of cookie in your kitchen, and you pass through the kitchen and you have this craving that you must have some cookies. So these are location based cues, and the routine is that you have them and then you get a reward in terms of fulfillment. Second one is time based. So it is the most common cue. Suppose you wake up after alarm rings and either you go to washroom, or either you sleep again, or either you go to gym. So you perform many routines. You can perform many routines after this alarm triggers. So if you go to gym, you have that sense of accomplishment that you will get reward of endorphin rush. If you go to sleep again, or you slept again, then you will have that sense of restfulness. So it will be a reward. Now the emotional state. So if you are in so much stress, so you can have few puffs of cigarette, you can have beer, you can have wine. So based upon your emotional state, you can have some habits that you have developed. Other people, so you have few friends and they have certain types of habit, and whenever you meet with them, you do those routines. So that is a cue of other people. Last one is any preceding actions. Suppose there is a notification in your Facebook app or in your email, then you check it. You scroll down through the timeline, then you do something else. You go to washroom, or you go to the gym. So a habit is stacked over another habit. Suppose you have a cup of coffee in the morning, then you do some meditation, and then you go to work or you go to gym. So a trigger is that having that coffee, and then you do certain kinds of habit after that. So there is one more step in this habit loop, which is craving, which powers this habit loop. So whenever you have this craving, so habit in itself with these three parts is nothing. It doesn't automate itself if you don't have this power of craving. So you have that craving of having cigarette, then only that powers this habit of puffing few cigarettes in the evening or whatever the time you choose. So there is in this part, there is a third section in which says how to change habits, and it says that habits are so ingrained in our brain that is near to impossible to change them or to delete them from our brain, from our memory. But you can replace a good habit, a bad habit with a new habit or a good habit. So suppose you have a queue, like you have a queue of having a cookie in evening, and the reward is you have that if you have it with few friends, you have that reward of social interaction with people. So you can replace this routine of having a cookie with something else, with some social connections, with some meaningful lectures, with some meaningful talks. So keeping cue and routine, cue and reward the same, you can replace a routine and in turn change that habit. So there was a famous experiment that happened in US, and a neuroscientist, she plugs various signals, various sensors inside the brain of a rat, and through that signals she can actually analyze the mental activity of that rat, and she kept it in a simplest of the maze, and the maze is having the property that whenever there is a sound of a click, a partition opens and then the rat can roam around, and one of the section of that maze she kept a chocolate. Initially, when she kept that rat in that maze, it was very confused. It was acting very lazily. It was just sniffing around and getting the feel of the environment, very confused that where he is. And after 15 to 20 minutes, he gets to the chocolate and have it. But as time passes and he automates this routine of whenever there is a click, the partition opens. Now, getting to the chocolate becomes almost like a habit. And when the scientists analyzed the brain activity before and after the habit is formed, she concludes that the brain activity before the habit was formed was very high, and after the habit is formed it was low, as if almost the brain is not working. So habits are actually ingrained in one of the primitive parts of our brain known as basal ganglia, and brain always looks out for the ways to minimize the consumption of power. So it looks out for the routines which can be automated and can be stored in basal ganglia, and thus a habit is formed. There is one more example of a product known as Febreze, which the author has given, and it is actually describes about how the habit loop works, and in marketing too. So when they launch a Febreze, which was an excellent product which can actually remove a bad smell, a foul smell from anything, and in its initial launch it actually failed, even the product was very good. So they have this marketing idea of having the cue of if a client is sensing a bad smell, then he will spray the Febreze and he will get the reward of not having that bad smell. But it fails because the sense are built in a way that the foul smell get ignored after a certain point of time. So they manipulate, they change this habit loop to this after cleaning anything, then the routine will be spraying the Febreze, and then the reward will be the sense of accomplishment. So they actually change Febreze into a room freshener, and the craving will be a sense of clean scent after you have cleaned your clothes or things that you have cleaned. So, guys, we'll talk about the second part in the other video, and so I'll be uploading various books, the summaries of books, part wise, and I will suggest you to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching the video.